Have you ever caught yourself staring into space, wondering what you would do if you won the lottery or the sweepstakes somewhere? Wondering what you would do with all that moolah, all the things you could buy with, all those fun tickets, schmoozing with the rich and some famous, buying friends and family, the experiences you used to dream about. Did I catch you dreaming? Oh, sorry, I guess I got carried away. Anyway, I'm not sure what the worldwide figures are, but the jury is definitely in on what happens to lottery winners who actually get their paws on the dream millions. Within 7 to 9 years, these winners are back where they started. The key question is why, and the answer is deceptively simple. Having is not the same as being. Oh shoot, wait, before I lose you forever on that one. No, this is not some Deepak Chopra mantra I'm sneaking in, although it does sound kind of Deepak Chopra-ish. All I'm saying is, just because you have 50 million in your bank account does not mean you are yourself a millionaire. Yes, your banker and everyone around you will see the swollen bank account and start clapping for you, secretly jealous, but inside you still have the same habits you had yesterday. All those fun tickets, the money, all they do is magnify what you were already doing with the money before the win. So what does this mean? Well, to keep those millions and foster its growth, you are going to need to make some adjustments within yourself, your habits, and you are also going to need to surround yourself with a new team, new friends who have different internal habits to your local banker. And this is true for preparing your company for scaled growth. How do we scale our business for growth? It's important to scale for growth on so many levels, but from my perspective, I see a lot of entrepreneurs really only daydreaming about scaling. Once you find that secret sauce, once you nail it, the one that makes your company unique and valuable, you have to take bold action. You have to surround yourself with the right team, mentors and connections. It's all on you, really. It's all you and who you know. I mean, don't let objections to that fool you, because it really is within you to build strategies to reach your big goals. But then you have to have the courage to pull the trigger. And pulling the trigger is always the fun part for me, because that's when you put stuff into action. But let me just kind of back up a second. I mean, there is let me put some things into play here. Because for me, scaling the business is all about standardization and systemization and team building. Because ultimately, the entrepreneur has to remove themselves from the day-to-day operating of that business. And having placed a well-seasoned team that gets fully capable of expanding the business and doing it on a fairly rapid trajectory. So one of the things that's very hard, as you know, for entrepreneurs is to actually do, but in that context, I know I have never, in business in all my years, I've never really hired a perfect employee. I mean, never. The only way you can ever get a perfect employee is through training. Training only makes sense if there's a standard to train to. To me, the basic elements of really scaling a business is the hiring practices that you have. Like the firing practices, how you train them, and bringing people into your methodology, like how each is handled. If you were to go into a McDonald's, they have a training video for how to mop the floor. They have a training video for every single thing that happens that an employee at any level is responsible for. They have standardized things so much so that no matter who they lose, no matter who comes in to replace them, they can be trained quickly, brought up to speed quickly, and become part of the functioning of that operation quickly. I mean, those are the kind of things that entrepreneurs don't tend to pay attention to. They're usually so focused on sales, they're focused on how to keep their costs down, they're focused on a whole bunch of things, except how does their business grow rapidly without their day-to-day participation. So what I see is a lot of business owners, they don't have time to build these systems and create those standards. In some of the companies that have been around for a while and have employees in place, I always encourage my clients to recruit the employees to help put these standards in place, to document what they do and to review that, and to help the employees just kind of sell the ideas and start building some of these standardization methods, the measures themselves. And there are experts, there's help out there also, people who can come in to help with this process. I mean, at National Diversified Funding Corporation, which is our private equity company, when we go into companies to where we help them grow and where we position them for acquisitions, for example, if a company wants to grow by acquisition, the first thing we explain to them is, before you can grow by acquisition, your business has to at least be a platform, so that when we make an acquisition, there is a standardization to bring them into that, and it's going to absorb them and make them more efficient, because you've acquired their company, and then that company that might be out there operating on its own, we have a division of our company that goes into that company and actually helps them to create a scalable model for their company so that they can actually do this. So whether or not you have access to us or not, there are mentors out there, there are consultants out there are business coaches out there and this is their expertise. I'd say any company that's looking to get beyond $500,000 to $1 million pounds a year, that size enterprise, they've got to think in terms of scaling their business, because there's only so much that the entrepreneur can do if you're going to get out of having to do everything yourself. If you're going to get out of working in your business as a slave and get into working on your business as the guiding visionary, if you like, then it's really, really important that you have this process built into your business so that it can scale up to the full extent of your vision. One of the most important aspects are some incredible pieces of software out there. This is not a commercial for Infusionsoft, because they're not hiring me to be their spokesperson, but we at National Diversified, we use Infusionsoft in our company, and one of the reasons we use this is because a big feature of it is office automation. The idea that at some point we standardize everything right down to the messages we put out to sell the responses that are apt to come back. Then based on the responses that come back, there are automated procedures and emails and things that go out to them and interact with the potential customer, and everything all the way through the sales process, all the way through the administrative process. Everything literally ends up automated. So yes, a lot of work it takes a lot of work to do this, but once it's done, it's done. After that, everything is just happening in your business, and you're free to now really look at growth path for your business and look at that vision that you have and move it steadily forward. If you're not taking advantage of today's technology, if you're not taking advantage of the enterprise that's out there in the framework of mentors, consultants, coaches, then you're missing a big opportunity to grow your business. I would want to just recommend to everybody that you open up your mind a little bit to the fact that you don't have to do it all. It's better if you're not the person doing it all, and you start to look at it. If you don't have this expertise, to go out there and find some people who have that expertise and get them to share it with you or bring it to your company for you to use. So these are a few of the ideas to help you take your real lottery ticket, that's your business, to new heights and keep those winnings.